Hello, dynamic stars. How are you today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Azurite 22 or Zuri Muse, whichever one you like to call me. I am here today, as always, to bring you a new video, a new thought, a new idea. Why? So we both can bring our intuition to the fore to bring us more into our lives. So today's video is going to be about Moldavite. I think I've had an interesting experience with Moldavite, and I'd love to share it with you. Recently, I've been very obsessed with it, and we're going to get into why. So come on back so you can see why. Hello, dynamic stars. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel where we focus on all things spiritual, intuitive, and bringing the intangible into the 3D experience, into the tangible. We do that with divination readings, oracle readings, and tarot readings. We do that by communicating with the ancestors. We do that by cleaning our homes with spiritual products, blessed products. We do that through a number of means. This is how we live our everyday life in harmony with everything we can't see. So that's what we do here. So if you're new to this channel, that's what we're about. Please hit that subscribe button. It's down below. It's right in the corner, so you can always do it whenever you feel like it. And also hit that bell so you get notifications when new videos come out, okay? All right, so I'm Azurite 22 or Zuri Muse, whichever you prefer, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about Moldavite. Moldavite is not technically a crystal. It's actually a meteorite that hit Earth in Czechoslovakia and Russia and in other places, mainly there. I mean, that's what they say. It's only in Czechoslovakia. That's the real one. Wherever it came down, because I'm not going to argue with anybody, it impacted with Earth and Earth's ground, materials, plants, trees, and the pieces that flew off the meteorite were fused with actual 3D terrestrial stuff. So Moldavite is a greenish, dark greenish, light greenish crystal that has a lot of pop marks in it. There are other meteorites of tektite, which I'll show you later, that actually has sometimes pieces of earth material within it. I say all of that to say these meteorite type of stones, crystals, have the best of both worlds, if you will. They have the energy of outer space as well as the energy here on this planet. And that's going to become important later, but I wanted to give you that framework of what Moldavite is, just in case you hadn't heard of it. So Moldavite then, of course, has an energy that's going to read differently than most other crystals because it has a different signature, a different energy signature due to its traveling through space to come here. It, for me, when I hold it, it oscillates very, very quickly. And at times it can be very like strong, aggressive kind of energy. Not in a negative way, but in a way that you cannot miss that this is something different, unusual, that you don't come into contact with every day. So that's the energy of Moldavite. So my little story, to speed this up if you will, is I was going through a lot. I was in a relationship and didn't go so well, but it was a very long relationship. So it was about a year and a half after it ended, and I was trying to find my way through using all of my spiritual techniques. And I walked into a crystal shop a crystal shop I had never been in, never knew it existed. I had found a new wholesale client. I sell them my money oil, and this crystal shop was right there. And I'm sitting here going, wow, okay, that's an interesting coinky. So I go in and I'm totally blown away. There is everything in this crystal shop. It's not a huge place, but there's a lot in there. There's this huge table filled with crystals, and the energy is just so potent and strong. They've got these Shiva Lingam crystals huge on the floor. It was just incredible. So, of course, I'm just like in awe. I'm like a kid in a candy shop, and I go crazy just going from one table, one crystal to the next crystal, to the back, to the front. They've got a sitting area towards the back where you can just sit and hold your crystals. It's just amazing. I go towards the front with, a bunch of stuff. And all of a sudden, my eyes are drawn to this thing in the showcase. And I'm like, what's that? She begins to tell me about Moldavite. She asks if I want to hold it. Oh, sure. She puts this thing in my hand, and I'm holding it and going, what is that? And then all of a sudden I begin feeling something going like this, and then it just gets higher and higher and faster and faster. And I'm like, whoa, what is this, And she began explaining a little bit about it. And I said, because it was, look, this thing was little. I mean, it was like that big, and I'm not even kidding you, tiny. And it was quite expensive. It was like $50 or $60 because they charged by the gram. Yeah, by the gram. So I buy it because, this thing just seemed to want to come home with me. I couldn't leave it. I put it with my spirit table. It was very odd. It felt different. Every time I worked with it, I don't know why, but I stood in front of my spirit table to work with it. I didn't feel like I should wear it because the energy was so strong, right? And when I stood there in front of it and placed it on my third eye, it was almost like an out-of-body experience. I can't even begin to explain it. It was literally, I can't even explain it. And I tried very hard to just bugger it away, forget about it. This is ridiculousness. But I kept working with it that first week, and it really, really shifted my ideas and my thoughts. The feelings that I was having, just kind of diminished. So I didn't feel this attachment still to what had happened previously. And I didn't really notice at the moment because I began getting more energy to do more of the things that I wanted to do in my life with the channel, with my spiritual store. Things just started picking up. And then that was December of 2019. I moved 4 months, not even 4 months later. By March, I had to move. And it was like, what's going on? Out of the clear blue sky. And as you know, that was also when, this whole thing with us being on lockdown, quarantine, staying at home came in. So I was literally moving right when this thing hit. It was insane. But I was able to move. Everything worked out. I went into a place that was, it was good energy. I had St. Michael walking through there. I literally was going through the place doing my walkthrough when I had first got it, and he walked through, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely the place for me. And the energy was just really high and really good in that place. And then I didn't think about the Moldavite again because, I'm all doing all this stuff and unpacking. And then I start going, I haven't found my Moldavite. I packed it with everything. I did. And it was so strange because I remember saying, this is special. I need to put this away so that I can actually make sure that this doesn't disappear, right? Disappeared. And I couldn't understand what happened. So I'm like, oh, I misplaced it. It was a move. I misplaced it. Meanwhile, I have everything from my whole spirit table, everything. Down to, like little pieces of bay leaf and things like that I had up there. Little teeny stones that I picked up from rivers and oceans that I had there. All of it was there, except for the mother. And I'm going, because, I didn't know, I didn't research. I had a connection with the stone itself, and that was it. I didn't find it in December. So here we are. I bought it the previous December. It disappeared in March, and here it is December 20, and I still hadn't found it, right? December 20, I'm moving again because now I have the opportunity to move into a larger, much more bright place, as you can see. And that's when I got into this place. It was like, okay, where's the Moldavite? Where is it? And I really did a deep dive search. I was like, this is crazy. I've got to find this thing. I became obsessed. So pretty much for the last 2.5 months, I have just been like, what is going on? Mind you, you heard, right? 2 moves in a time period that's very chaotic, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of change, a lot of new thoughts. The original reason why I was in a state of kerfuffle, that situation is totally, I feel like nothing. It's good. I'm at a very, very good place with it. And meanwhile, Moldavite is still not here. So I said, all right, enough. I'm going to sit down and talk to my spirits and find out what the heck is going on, because I need to know. This is bothering me. I'm not that type of person where I lose stuff, So I hide things away from myself. Yeah, I get that. I've done that before, but it shows up. And it shows up in a place that completely makes sense as to why I would have put it there. This is not making sense. This thing is gone. So I started doing some research. I started watching a bunch of videos, reading a bunch of articles, found Mark Bajerski's page. I'll put his link below so you can follow him. He's got 16 years of experience doing healing work with crystals. And that's when I found out, oh yeah, if you don't pair Moldavite with other crystals, it has a tendency to disappear. I'm sitting here going, what kind of madness is this? What is this? But it came from space. That's how we started this, right? So it doesn't follow the rules of 3D terrestrial physical laws. Why should it? It can if it wants to, and then it can choose not to because it has both. And I'm like, all right, so, okay, so this thing has a tendency to disappear, all right. And I didn't pair it with other crystals. I had that crystal on my spirit table by itself. Yeah. Long story short, my spirits told me that Moldavite actually was protecting me from my own emotions, my own energies, because there was a lot of unresolved feelings that I had not really worked on. So Moldavite realized it, and basically within 3 months of me receiving it, it basically phase shifted. It's gone. It did what it had to do and took things away with it. And I was like, okay, that's something very different. I further checked, and they were saying, my spiritual family, that in addition, Moldavite is still working with me. Its energies are still vibrating with me. Wherever I am, its energy is still with me. And I was like, okay, I missed a part. I tried to buy another Moldavite earlier this year because I was so obsessed and I couldn't understand what had happened. So I believe it was January, either December or January, somewhere in there, when the obsession began. I said, oh, I found one, I'm gonna get this. I got this thing in, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't know about this. It's not Moldavite. And I did another search. Turns out it was Tektite. Another meteorite, different energy, but we'll talk about that at another point in time. Anyway, this is why I said that. I asked Spirit, can I just buy another Moldavite? Because, I feel I need it. Nope. You already have Moldavite. It's still working with you. No. And I went, oh, okay. So this particular piece of Moldavite that called to me at this point a year and a half ago is no longer in physical 3D space with me, is still working with me. That is freaking amazing to me. Never had a crystal do anything like that, but then I've never had Moldavite. Never. So all of those folks who are still on the fence about Moldavite, it's a pretty powerful crystal. It's something that creates a bond directly with you and doesn't stop working with you. I have heard it's a protective stone. I have heard it opens your third eye. I've heard that it, removes people from your life that don't belong there if Moldavite doesn't feel that it likes you or that it's good for you. And I'm beginning to understand that all of those things are true depending upon who owns the Moldavite. Who is in possession at the moment of Moldavite and what is going on with them. So if you are drawn to Moldavite, it is something that you probably should get, but you will have to be mindful that your life is not going to be anything that you think of as normal and traditional and steady. Moldavite creates change, it creates movement, revolution, if you will. But revolution for your life purpose benefit, your destiny benefit, for your benefit. And you can't is a bad word. It would be best not to put expectations on what you can and cannot expect, because it is different for everyone. I didn't expect this. I was completely kerfuffled. I was just like, what the heck is going on here? Crystals stay put. I put them here, they stay here. not Moldavite. If you get a Moldavite, or when you get a Moldavite, please pair it with other crystals to ground it, to keep it with you. So that you don't have this situation like I have. And at this point, I am thankful for the situation that I have because it taught me quite a lot. And you can't think you know something, because even if you think you know, you don't know. Anyway, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you think about Moldavite and do a little bit more research and see if it's calling to you. All right. You take care, and thank you so much for being here, a part of the Azurite 22 family. I will see you in the next video.